I've always found it curious that some players would choose to wear a watch in this environment, because it's not like you need the time, and if you've got a smartwatch on, it's not like you're counting your steps. So for me, it's got to be something from the past where he's started playing with a watch on, and it's something of comfort.
He doesn't want it going off if it is a smartwatch with a, you know, an alert or a push notification halfway through going for an important double. I'm assuming that he's got it switched off. I'm
assuming that all the people who have his phone number won't be texting him saying, "What are you doing tonight, Mickey?" "Oh, but I'm a little busy. Can you get back to me in about an hour and a half?"
Underway on talkSPORT 2 for our first match of the night. Tomoya Goto of Japan starts with a 96, wearing a grey darts top with some swirly designs on there, black and white cowhide type of top for Mickey Mansell from Northern Ireland.
The Japanese dart players have the best dart shirts in the world. Ryusei Azumoto earlier in the tournament had an absolute cracker, and this one is fairly elite as well.
It is. It's a bit more understated, certainly than one Azumoto's and Lok Yin Lee's from Hong Kong, which was very garish.
Yeah, the difference between Tomoya Goto tonight and Lok Yin Lee is that he's not wearing a hoodie underneath his dart shirt.
Yes, it's a very curious set of attire that Lok Yin Lee had when he won his first round match the other day.
I tell you what, Dance, not to talk too much about it, but at the minute it's very dark outside here at Alexandra Palace, but from the International Space Station, two things can be seen right now: the Great Wall of China and Tomoya Goto's flights. Don't look directly at them. They are bright.
They are as bright as the lights that are shining on them. This kind of jigsaw puzzle design blue with translucent yellow, and he uses those darts to pick up a couple of treble 19s, but he's not on a finish yet, Goto, and he's got the darts at the start of this first of three-set encounter. 1-7-3 plays 2-0-1. Mansell, with his methodical aiming style, 84. Gets himself down to a finish. He'll have first shot at a checkout. 1-1-7 when he returns. 1-7-3 for Goto.
Mansell loves double top, loves double 12 and double 10. The only double he will want to go at, apart from those, is the bullseye. He tries to completely simplify things. Here on 1-1-7, he gets a single 20, so it's going to be treble 19 for tops. He can't get the treble 19. So Goto is going to come back to try and take care of 74 to take the first leg of the contest.
Treble 14, double 16 is the preferred outshot for most from this point. Let's see what Goto goes to. Goes for the 18s and hits single. 16 left for double top. Nicely done, nice clutch finish from Tomoya Goto. First leg goes to the man from Japan.
Japanese players have been very dangerous over the last few years when we've been covering the World Darts Championship on talkSPORT 2. Very dangerous indeed. Remember Edward Fawkes? He had to remind the interviewer that he was from Japan, he was from Okinawa, and we have to mention our good friend Seigo Asada, who caused all sorts of problems for opponents on that stage. And in fact, he's the person that made James Wade very angry because he was so good.
And our colleague Dan Darts Dawson adored Seigo Asada.
We love him because he has his own sound effect.
Seigo. If you know your games consoles, that will mean an awful lot to you. If you don't, you'll what on earth are they blathering on about?
Yeah,
we are on the YouTube, by the way, the talkSPORT Darts YouTube channel. You can get hold of that. If you look on my X feed, you'll see somewhere in my last 2 or 3 messages on there, you'll see a link to our talkSPORT Darts YouTube channel where you can see watch-alongs of every game and interviews with the great and the good. We're building up our content more and more. And more of you are subscribing. Thank you very much. It's lovely to have you with us on this Friday evening, whether you're listening on talkSPORT 2 or you're watching along on YouTube. Now, in this second leg, Mickey Mansell is down to a finish of 1-2-1 on the darts. Goto way back on 2-4-9, despite a decent visit just there. So 101 left. He doesn't need to go treble 17 bull here, Mansell, and he's staying on the 20s.
81.
That's very neatly done to leave him on double top. That was a deliberate aim at single one.
Yeah, that's what he does. He's all about tops, he's all about 10s, he's all about 12s. He plays the game in a very similar way to James Wade. He's using certain parts of the board because he knows where his strengths lie. If double top cooperates tonight, just like that, as he hits it with the first start to win leg 2 and make it 1-1, then Tomoya will have a lot of problems. I think he's the better scorer of the two, but Mansell's got the experience. He's averaging 92.51 for the year. And here's a really good, interesting stat, because Mansell's played enough games on stage this year for this statistic to feel relevant. His doubles on stage this year, 38.4%. That's very useful. He's got a win rate of 53%, but that includes everything he's played this year. It's still pretty good, but as we go through the tournament dance, we're going to see win percentages for the year go up and up and up.
The only problem is, for Mansell, yes, he got to the semi-final of the Grand Slam, but he didn't qualify for the Players' Championship finals, so he's not played competitive darts in over a month.
He won't mind that. He's one of those players that has this ability to tick over anyway. He goes back to Northern Ireland. He's extremely fit. He can outcycle most people, and he's just really wily. He'll turn up, he'll think he hasn't played for a month, and then he'll stick in a really good performance. And his supposed hoodoo of this place, because he couldn't win here for years, that's gone now. Now he feels comfortable here. He's more ready to come here and win every single season.
You can probably hear it takes Mansell a little while longer than most to get from dart 1 to 3. Very much an aimer. Goto there with a fairly orthodox throwing style. Missing out on trebles though. They're piling up already for Tomoya Goto. 8 trebleless visits, and we're only in leg 3.
Yeah, 176 Mansell here, looking for a 140. Doesn't get it, but that's okay for him. Goto back on 262. So Mansell will try to stick with tops if he can get 20, 16, and then the shot at double 20. Goto's had a bad second dart there. It slipped out of his hand. Only scores 53 to lead 209, so advantage Mansell against the throw.
76 left, but he's not going treble 20. He was looking down to pick up treble 16 maybe. He's hit single 8, so 68 left.
He's not going to go 18 bull here because Goto's on 209. He might go for treble 16 again. That's what he's done. Single 16, now he's 52. So all's well that ends well. He's on tops eventually.
Just picked his shots carefully there, Mickey Mansell. Goto trying to get down to a finish from 209, and does with a nice treble 19 with his final dart. But Mansell should take this for 2-1 and a break of throw. Tops underneath, so he's down to double 10 at 4 o'clock on the board. Just outside, 1 dart left, but he's pinned it with that one. So the break of throw belongs to Mickey Mansell. Now he's throwing for the set on talkSPORT 2.
Believe it or not, Mansell is actually faster than he used to be. About 15 years ago, you drew Mickey, you thought, right, I'm going to have to be patient here. Some of his games took, and I'm talking about best of 11 legs, upwards of 40 minutes.
So a game between Mickey Mansell and, I don't know, Justin Pipe.
85.
That would have taken a little while, right?
Well, if I may keep names out of this, because he's actually in the building, he's not on our team, but he once asked his manager,
83.
I can see there's a game between Justin Pipe and Mickey Mansell about to go on. shall I watch that one or not? And the person said back, haven't you just painted your hallway? I said, yeah, well, go and paint it again.
Into leg 4. Goto's got work to do here. But a steady turn takes him down to 3:18, so he's half a dart ahead of Mickey Mansell. Trying to break back. 3.71 plays 3.18 then. Mansell gets a lovely steady turn, lovely grouping, diagonal grouping of the darts in the board.
That's the thing about Mickey's game. This looks really steady. 50% on the double so far for a 2-1 lead in the first set. Averaging 91. He's not doing anything spectacular. It's just really, really good. And the most important thing right now is that Goto is not anywhere near him statistically. He's not getting many shots at double, and Mansell is gradually going through the gears.
Yeah, no scores of 140 or higher so far for Tomoya Goto. Coming down from 2-1-8, wayward dart into single 5, single 20 and single 20. So he's not down to a finish. Mansell for the set wants 131. And that's a wayward dart into single 5. 106 left. Staying on the 20s, I think. He is, but it's single 1, bed and breakfast.
Ouch. He drops his dart on the floor in the retrieval phase, and Goto has to step back. Now he's on 173 at the oki now. Short of the treble 20, so has to cover. And even when he goes to the 18s, he hits a small 4. And that 43 score leaves him on 130. Mansell on 105 has got options here, but this is for the set.
It's 105 now, so treble 20 would leave his favourite tops. Got it. Double top for the set for Mickey Mansell of Northern Ireland. Over the top by an inch. So to take us to a deciding leg, Tomoya Goto needs 130. 110 left. Treble 20 would leave the bull, but he can't find it. 90 left. 65. And he hits 25 heading for the bull.
Goto hasn't looked very likely since the first leg of the contest. Mansell is likely to be one set up. He's hit tops, and he is one set up. He points to the sky with his left index finger. One down. 2 sets to go. Alexandra Palace are in full voice. They're waiting for someone as follically challenged as Mansell a little bit later on, because Michael van Gerwen is in the building as well. But our first game of the night, it goes the way of Mansell in the first set. He's up a set to love on talkSPORT 2. We'll be back after this.
talkSPORT 2.
Ian Danter and Paul Nicholson here at Alexandra Palace on night 6 of the PDC World Darts Championship. It's a bit live football about to kick off tonight. We'll keep you informed. Luton against Derby in the Championship. 3 games in League One: Cambridge, Huddersfield, Stockport, Peterborough, and the leaders Wickham at home to Bolton. And a couple of games in League Two as well: Crewe against Colchester and Gillingham taking on Cheltenham, and Motherwell Kilmarnock in the Scottish Prem as well. But our main concentration here on talkSPORT 2 is matters here at the Palace, where Mickey Mansell of Northern Ireland has eased himself into a 1-set lead over the Japanese player Tomoya Goto, who's only averaging 76 at the moment, which is 10 points down on his seasonal average. Goto, Mansell just slightly below his seasonal average of 92. And really, Tomoya Goto's got to channel the spirit of the man who saw off Ian White in round 1 last year by 3 sets to 1 if he's going to have any chance here. And he really didn't do himself any justice in that first set, did he, Nico?
Not at all. As a matter of fact, Ian White is already through to round 2 via the unfortunate withdrawal of Sandro Eric Sosing. If we hear any more about Sandro and his uncomfortable situation this afternoon, we will bring it to you on talkSPORT 2. But Tomoya Goto is going to have to lift his levels here, because you just can't foresee Mansell coming down to the level that Tomoya's at right now. So the Japanese player has to speed up, get more efficient, otherwise he'll be back to Japan by Christmas.
There's nothing wrong with the throw. You know, I'm looking for moving parts and looking for parts of the throw that could cause him problems and cause him that inconsistency, but I can't see anything particularly that is troublesome.
If anything, Dance, compared to last year, his action is better, because his elbow is in a more fixed position at this championship, whereas last year it was just a bit more lateral when he was trying to deliver the dart, and that puts more emphasis on timing. If you can keep that forearm vertical and keep the elbow in position and not have any stress in the upper arm region, you're going to throw a lot of good darts, and I believe his technique is improved. But maybe his struggles in this game stem from expectation, because nobody knew him last year. He went up there and thought, nobody knows me, nobody expects anything. This year, unfortunately for him, we do.
I've just spotted the greatest fancy dress costume setup of all time. The seagulls and the bag of chips are in. 4 guys dressed as seagulls, 1 as a bag of chips, and occasionally one of the seagulls will attack the poor bloke who's the bag of chips.
That is the best that we've seen, but I'm waiting for something original. We saw 5 people come into the crowd just before the first game, all dressed as astronauts, and they looked more like sauna suits. We all said to each other, producer Matt, myself and you, Dance, oh, that'll be a mistake by 8 o'clock.
Yeah, they'll be sweating cobs. Mickey Mansell wants 116 to take the first leg of this second set. He's got the darts, but saves that visit with a 57 with his final dart to leave himself on double 18. But Goto can break here. 101 for the Japanese.
How's he going to go with the first dart? Single 20, and it's almost in the middle of the single. Went for treble 15 and missed it to the left. There's so many singles being hit here. He's got 11 trebleless visits compared to Mickey's 2. That's where this game is being won and lost. Mansell on the doubles, after that double 18 is hit with the first attempt, is now 4 from 7. He is strolling through this game. Goto is providing very little resistance.
As soon as we say that, he pops in a maximum. So having hit no 140s, suddenly Tomoya Goto hits a 180. Ridiculous.
That's the first of the evening. There will be more, and the fans love that.
Well, it's the idea of a 9-darter. That's why they love it, because any 9-darter here will see a random member of the audience win £60,000, as well as 60 grand being donated to prostate cancer research and 60 grand to the player concerned who hits it.
Has somebody flicked the switch in Tomoya Goto, because all of a sudden, from someone who was averaging in the mid-70s, he's just gone 180, 140. Is Mansell joining the party, I wonder? Yes, just like that, Mansell gets his first. He's on 261, Goto 80 points better off.
He's enjoying himself up there, is Mickey. Goto's not exactly looking unhappy with his place up there.
65.
Good 25 hit there from 181 down to 116 for the leg. Mansell is back in the red bit again, Mickey Mansell. Second dart just dips below, but he should get down to a finish here, and does. 161 if he comes back.
One treble 20 for a single 16 in tops. He doesn't get the treble 20, but he's going to stay there to try and get around that shot that is just underneath. He can't quite do it. It's a really good effort, though. He surrounded that treble 20 with the first two and gets it with the last dart, sandwiching that third one in the middle to lead double 8.
Chance for a 13 darter, but hang on. Treble 17 would leave bullseye for Mickey Mansell. Hits single 17, 84 left, back to the 20s, and a single. So, for a 13 darter, Tomoya Goto wants 2 8s. He's hit his first double with 1 dart. Why is it on the outside? God, that was close. Good marker, though. Makes it count. And it's 1-1 in set 2. Mansell leading by 1 set to 11, a race to 3.
Would you like to hear a quick joke, Dance?
Always.
What do you get if you cross a Japanese dart player and a defender at AC Milan?
I don't know, Nico. What do you get if you cross a Japanese dart player and a defender at AC Milan?
Tomoya Tomori.
Oh, very good. Very good. My brain's all scrambled now, having heard that.
47.
You've worked hard on that gag, haven't you? Really workshopped it. Good work. Good work.
4-5-4 Goto. I wonder if he's going to be the go-to man tonight. But Mansell on 4-1-6 has got the jump here in leg 3 of this second set. A typical steady ton from the Northern Irishman, who has played at PDC World Cups with Brendan Dolan. He's nowhere near the squad at the minute because he's got 3 Northern Irish players above him in the rankings.
46.
Daryl Gurney, who we're yet to see in this championship. Josh Rock, who we are yet to see. And Brendan Dolan, who we are yet to see. So the Northern Irish contingent, of which there are 4, this is the first one. And Mansell, by that 60 score, is on 2-5-6.
We won't see Rock until Monday. Same with Gurney. And actually, Gurney will play the winner of the next match on the Oki between Florian Hempel and Jeffrey Desvan.
27.
And as for the history maker, Brendan Dolan, he's on stage tomorrow against the man from Hong Kong, who we mentioned earlier, Lok Yin Lee. That'll be third on tomorrow afternoon. Regular updates here on talkSPORT 2. I'll be at Ipswich, Newcastle for our Premier League commentary tomorrow afternoon, but I'll be crossing to Mark Wilson as often as I possibly can to get updates on what's happening here.
Tomorrow night is going to be the best party in town.
58.
We've got Luke Littler here. This place is going to go off.
And it's live on talkSPORT 2, straight after our rugby coverage between Sale Sharks and Exeter Chiefs, which is a tea time offering from 5:15. We'll be here at 7:30 for all the action in the evening.
Well,
now,
Mansell there, 1-5-6 he had, Dance. He's got 2 single 20s, and predominantly people will stay on the 20s or go for a switch on the 19s. He switched to the 16s, because if he hit the single, he would have left 100. It's all behaviour trying to lead tops. He's got 108 here because he missed the single 16. Now he's going Shanghai on 18s. But now, 18 single, treble 20 and double 15. It's unconventional, but it's very accurate, and he's 2-1 up in the second. He's 1 leg away from a 2-set lead.
a 108 checkout for the man from Dungannon. And he is... It's serene progress so far for Mansell. Compared to Nigel Mansell, he's not having to travel that quickly at all to get through to the business end of this tie.
Yeah, if it was Nigel versus Mickey, it would be the tortoise and the hare. And Mansell's got no hair.
And he don't care. I'm sure Tomoya can loan him some of his. He's got the sort of scruffy mop top. Tomoya Goto, smaller man.
Yeah, this is a game that would be sponsored by hair companies. Mickey Mansell would be that famous razor brand, or your money back. And then Goto would be sponsored by that fictional hair branding coming to America, Soul Glow.
Yes.
100.
Another steady, reliable ton scored from Mansell. Very nicely done indeed.
I think a lot of people playing at this championship, if they'd drawn Mickey Mansell, they would say, I'm going to have to adjust to the pace. Tomoya Goto is not one of those players, because a lot of the people who play in Japan, people who play on the Asian tour, which is where Tomoya applies his trade, they are very methodical. So this will feel very normal for him.
Great example.
Lim, Seigo Asada, Azimoto, Toilo, Iligan, all of those Asian players are at the same pace as Mansell, so this will feel very normal for him.
246 Mansell, 250 Goto. Mansell on the verge of a 2 sets to love lead, but that's a good 140 scored in the nick of time by Goto to get down to a finish of 110. The winner of this encounter meets the Ferret in round 2 on Monday night, or Monday afternoon rather.
100.
Johnny Clayton doesn't hang about when he's at the hockey.
He really doesn't. He wants to get a swift job done when he comes here, and I think he might. Goto on 110 has got the treble 18 after the single 20, and he's got the double 18. This is a much better set from the Japanese player, averaging 87.92 in this set. Still only missed one dart at a double. Whatever you do, Mickey, at 2-2 in this second set, do not give that man a shot at a double, otherwise you're going to be level.
Mansell starts the deciding leg in set 2, looking to go 2-0 up, and another steady ton from the Northern Irishman. What can Goto do to pressurise the Mansell throw? He's simply not done it yet on any of Mansell's throws when he's had the darts. Well, he's matched him ton for ton at the start of this leg. Mansell, a left-hander. From our angle, when you look at the camera angle, you can't see his face for where the dart sits when he pulls it back to the point of release. Only 60 this time. This is a chance for Goto. If he can get a ton plus score here, which he's likely to do with a treble 20 first up. Yep, ton, he's half a dart ahead. Just a ghost of a chance that he can create something here.
He's starting to improve the weight of the dart each visit, but every now and again there's a dart that is a bit mysterious. Too high, well too low. I just wonder if his weakness is in his grip. It's the kind of grip where he draws the dart back and the dart disappears, because there's a lot of clasping going on, a lot of finger movement. Some of the best players that have ever lived, when they're drawing the dart back, there's no movement in the fingers or the wrist. And Goto's got a lot going on in that clasp. 3-1-5 Mansell here. Didn't choose to go bullseye first because 145 is the magic number to leave a 170 finish. He's going to stay conventional, stick to the 20s, and he can only get 3 small singles, meaning Goto has got the throw.
Now he does have a chance. 2-4-1 less this visit for Tomoya Goto. Can he get a treble? No, just 60 scored, so he's not down to a finish either. 12 darts apiece, and only Goto's broken 200.
255. He's not going to come down much on the first dart. Treble 1 for Mansell. He's got it twice. Don't hit another one. Last dart is a treble 20. That's a saviour, but Goto has still got the throw. He's leading by 8 points. This is a nervy leg because they know just how big this is.
So Goto from 181, small 20. He's thinking of going downstairs, and he is now. Lovely pickup of treble 19, and a single to follow that. So he's down to a 2-dart finish of 85. Mansell 189 here. Has Goto got the belief? Can Mansell pressurise? 2 treble 20s. The punters haven't realised it. And a treble 15. Fantastic cover shot from Mickey Mansell to leave himself on double 12.
His heart is swelling right now, thinking this set could be mine. But if Goto has got 85 in his locker, it will be 1 set all. And he knows exactly how big this is. We can read it on his face and his body language. He's taking an extra step. Single 15. He needs to go 20 in ball. He's got the 20. Centre of the board for 1 set all.
60.
As our colleague Chris Murphy would say, he's on the green, but he's not in the hole.
He was just to the south and the east of the bullseye. So 2 toss for Mansell. He takes the set and goes 2-0 up. And Tomoya Goto was within a whisker of levelling matters, but that's set play for you. Mickey Mansell just 1 set away from a match against Johnny Clayton in round 2. We'll play to a conclusion next. Tomoya Goto with work to do, Ali Pali. Mickey Mansell leads 2-0 on talkSPORT 2.
talkSPORT 2, official broadcast partner. talkSPORT 2 is your dynamic destination for all the latest sporting action. Featuring live commentary of all the biggest events, including football, PGA golf, horse racing, Premiership rugby, cricket, boxing, and all the big-hitting drama of the NFL. Plus, talkSPORT 2's official betting partner, William Hill, is always on hand with the insight and in-depth analysis you need. talkSPORT 2 with official betting partner, William Hill. 18+, gambleware.org.
The 2025 PDC Darts World Championship.
Live on talkSPORT 2.
2 sets to love on talkSPORT 2 as Mickey Mansell of Northern Ireland closes in on a first-round victory against the Japanese qualifier Tomoya Goto. Thank you for your company on talkSPORT 2. Ian Danter and Paul Nicholson with you, and we've got some people who've been in touch on social media saying they're listening to us, Nico.
Yeah, absolutely. Curty Boy 180 has been in touch. I always like it when someone's got a handle on
With a
X
180.
with 180 at the end. But playing 301 with my 10-year-old daughter Lily while listening to darts on the radio, becoming something of a Christmas tradition. That's really nice to hear, because this is our 8th championship since Rob Cross won the title, the first time we were here for darts on the radio, and we like people having a tradition with us, so Merry Christmas.
We do. Thank you for getting in touch at Talk Dance. on X at TALKDANTS. It's the same on Blue Sky if you're on that. And Nico is at TheAsset180 on X if you want to get in touch with him. Use the hashtag darts on the radio and we'll pick those messages up too. Any questions you got for Nico and Mace about these championships or the game of darts in general, or individuals, or things you want clarifying about the rules, that's what Nico and Mace can be here to help you with. So Goto, who had the darts at the start, will have the honour at the start of this third set once the practice darts have been completed. And Mickey Mansell has looked very, very comfortable up there against the man who was thought to be a serious threat to his safe passage through to beat Johnny Clayton in round 2. But so far, his average is 81, a good 5 points down on his seasonal average on the Japanese tour, where he's only had one win on the Asian tour, Goto, but he's a regular quarter-finalist and semi-finalist in those events.
Yeah, definitely. It's a really emerging tour as well. But the thing that's impressed me the most in this game, it's the composure of Mansell. Because in previous times when he's been on this stage, he has fallen apart like a dropped apple pie. But in the last couple of years, since he got that first victory on the stage, he has grown in stature in places like this. It's got nothing to do with that run to the semi-finals of the Grand Slam recently. It's a constant building up of confidence when it comes to Christmas darts in London, because it's not easy to do. Just ask Stephen Burton. He's played here twice, he hasn't won a set. He's played nowhere near his best. It's hard up there.
Some people are raised up by being up on that stage at Ali Pali in front of us. Others freeze. Speaking of the freeze, Danny Noppert, not seen him yet.
He hasn't got a great record here either. For someone with his CV, Danny has disappointed here over the last few years.
He lost pretty disappointingly the last few times he's been here. He's not gone deep. He's playing Ryan Joyce tomorrow night. That's the first match in our evening session live on talkSPORT 2.
Don't be surprised if Ryan Joyce wins that game. He looked really useful in the first round.
Also, we've got Raymond van Barneveld against Nick Kenny, who got a big fish to seal his victory this afternoon, the young Welshman. Luke Littler against Ryan Meikle, and then Damon Heta against the talented Englishman Connor Scutt to round off Saturday night. That's a really good lineup you should be tuning into.
Absolutely.
I know I will be on my way back from Ipswich tomorrow.
58.
Now we're into the first leg of this third set. Goto with the darts, but Mansell already appears to have the drop on him and may be able to get down to a finish after 12 darts that Goto is not able to do. And there it is, 95, taking him down to 138. 100 plus points ahead of his opponent.
Yeah, it's really good thinking there from Mansell, because when you're on 233, you go to the 19s, you're looking for 7 of them to leave 100. 9 is ideal because that gets you onto a smaller 2-darter, but even by getting 5 of them, he gives himself options on 138. I'm surprised he didn't stay on the 19s, because if you get 2 trebles down there, you go for double 12, which is one of his go-to doubles. Trying to get Mickey Mansell figured out is like trying to solve Leonardo da Vinci's knot.
Goto 149, less these. He's got a treble 19, so 58 scored. 93 left, looks at treble 17 and picks off a single.
Mickey, you require 80.
This one should be straight down the middle. That was Frank Sinatra, wasn't it?
It was.
Talking about golf. Straight down the middle of the 20, so small 20 for Mansell, and he's missed the fairway. He's hit a 1.
40.
Silly Mickey.
Tomoya
Rory McIlroy wouldn't have missed that
75.
fairway.
He might with his newer clubs. If he'd gone back to his old clubs, he might have made it. 74 for Goto. Treble 18 hit. Leaves him double 10. Wires it on the outside. That's so close. Can he use that as a guide? Yes, he can. And he takes the first leg of the third set when he was 120 points behind after 12 darts.
Just goes to show how much you can be hurt if you miss your single. But Mickey soaks it up. He doesn't flail in the background. He doesn't talk to himself and have that negative self-talk that can be somewhat metastasized on the stage.
Excuse me? Metastasized? That's my word of the day. I want to know what that means.
When it spreads.
Right,
Unfortunately,
okay.
it's got more connotations for illnesses, but when something is not good and it spreads.
I have a steward's inquiry. Charlie Baker's been on. Straight down the middle was Bing Crosby, he says.
Ah, I see.
Thank you, Charlie. Paul Nicholson sits corrected.
40.
Happily.
Charlie back tomorrow morning with Max Rushton on the warm-up on talkSPORT, including the dreaded time difference. From one music pedant to another, he says. Yeah, I'll take that. A maximum for Goto, who's just getting into his stride. It may be too little too late, but he's down to 187 after 6 darts. And Mansell finds himself still trying to break 400. He will do with this dart. But Goto's got a chance, very good chance, to go 2-0 up here in very short order in set 3.
Just because you get a 2-0 lead in sets doesn't mean you can take your foot off the gas. And I'm directing that straight at Mickey Mansell. 360 left after 9 is a vast reduction
81.
in quality from the Northern Irishman. In this set, he has reduced his average overall by over 20 points. Something has got to click back in the right direction, because in this format it's very easy to go to sleep for about 10-12 minutes. If that happens, you can lose 2 sets in no time at all.
That's the jeopardy of these shorter games at the start of the championship. Start badly and you're struggling, you can just lose your way, and next thing you know, you're out. Goto's down to double 4. So he's on 8. Mansell's on exactly 300 less these darts.
300 after 12 darts is not good enough at this level. He knows that. And he's very much risking being 2-0 down in the third set. So double 4 for Goto. His doubles have been really good. He's 4 hits from 7, which is 57%. Now he's on double 2 in the bottom right corner of the board. Nothing wrong with that one. So if you give him shots at double, he's going to take them.
Yeah, he's looking very solid on the outer ring. And he's 2-0 up with a chance to get it back to 2-1. He has to throw in leg 3. 1 away from giving Mickey Mansell something to think about, because up to this point, Goto has given Mansell no cause for concern whatsoever.
It's actually quite a rare thing, this, for Mickey Mansell, because usually he gets afternoon games. Make of that what you will, but that is a fact. He always gets afternoon games. When he saw the schedule, he'll have said, I'm playing after 7 o'clock. This is something I'm not used to.
He's never made it past the last 64 of these championships. Making his 9th appearance, he's got a 53% win rate in 2024, Mickey Mansell. But as I mentioned, he didn't qualify for the Players' Championship final event at Minehead, which comes off the back of the Grand Slam of darts, and is effectively the last chance for competitive darts for players ahead of the World Championship.
Well, when someone doesn't qualify for the Players' Championship finals but does for this, they must have done stuff on the European Tour, because that's where the Pro Tour money comes from, the European Tour and the Players' Championship events. Just to prove that, he only made 2 last 16s in Players' Championships this year. In Players' Championship 1 and 28. So 1 at the start, 1 at the end, and a whole heap of not enough in the middle.
Yeah.
58.
This leg's going at pretty glacial pace. Mansell 2.79 after 9 darts. Goto 2.61, only just ahead after 12. So he's not converting the opportunity just at the moment, as he wants to see this set off 3 legs to zip.
And Goto's here because he won the Japan Tour Finals back on the 8th of September, beating Kenichi Ejiki in the final by 5 legs to 2. That was a fairly tight match, and his average in this game isn't that different to that day. But imagine what it's like to go through 3 and a bit months of waiting for this game. It can play on your mind, it can give you sleepless nights.
Well, he knows about the Ali Pali stage, though, as we mentioned. He beat Ian White 3-1 last year. And White can have games where he's brilliant one day and nowhere near it the next. Ryan Searle was run close by Goto in the next round last year, but Searle ended up a 3-1 winner in that second round match.
Well, Searle's a different player these days. He's one of the heavy hitters. No pun intended, because his nickname is Heavy Metal, but he is extremely impressive.
He's first up on Sunday afternoon against Matt Campbell, who fought off the Ali Pali Wasp. Oh no, that was no, I beg your pardon, it wasn't him that had to suffer the Wasp.
Scott Williams?
It was Scott Williams, wasn't it, wearing the yellow and black. Matt Campbell's the Will Gavin lookalike. Our talkSPORT 2 colleague.
80 points for Mansell again, and he's looking to go straight down the middle again by Bing Crosby. This time he actually hits the fairway. Double top to stay alive in set number 3. This is against the darts as well. This is a key shot, and he's hit double 5. My word, that's a bad dart. That's missed by a centimetre left of the segment.
Yeah, that was not exactly next door to the wire. So 72 for Goto. Oh, he's hit single 5. 67, all he can do is go 17 bull. 17 hit. Bullseye for the set. Be a great way to wrap it up. Oh, he's way off. Hit single 2, I think.
The upside of hitting double 5 for Mansell is that he leaves double 15, which he's already hit in this game. Staring it down. But now he's decided to go 10 double 10 yet again. Just can't figure him out. Is he going to hit double 5 twice in the same leg? He has! Now there's a rarity for you. That's like finding White Friars glass on bargain hunt. That is very rare.
He just blows out his cheeks there, Mickey Mansell, knowing how fortunate he was to have accidentally hit double 5 in his previous visit and then deliberately hit it to get back to 2-1. He's still 2-1 down in this third set, but he's 2 sets to 0 up. 3 sets gets you through to the next round. You're listening to coverage of the PDC World Darts Championship on talkSPORT 2 with Village Hotels. Dine out, stay, work out and play this festive season at one of 33 cracking UK locations.
Here's an analogy for you. I think this sums up Mickey Mansell very well. You ever heard that story about the water and the frog? How you place a frog in the boiling water,
frog, yeah,
it will jump straight out. Well, right now Goto is the frog and Mansell is the gradually ever increasing temperature water. He is trying to get rid of Goto the slow way. Is it going to work? If he wins the next 2 legs, he will have accomplished the job.
Well, Goto is really flitting from really good scoring, good punishing scoring to bags of nails. He's putting a ton just there. So he's down to 305. Mansell with the darts on 3-2-1, the old Ted Rogers. Less than another ton. Yeah, don't try and do it. Yeah, no, don't do the fingers thing. Get yourself in a whole heap of trouble.
How did he do that?
A lot of practice, that's how.
41.
41 for Goto. Not anywhere near a finish. In fact, he's 40 points down on Mansell. But they're both struggling here. Mansell at 2-2-1. His first 2 darts have gone below the treble 20s. Just straining to get it towards the red bit. And 3 darts in small 20s, not good.
Well, Mansell really is a lobber. He's trying to float the darts over the top of each other. But I think the sensible play after 2 small 20s there was to go to the 17s. He didn't, and he's got 161 left after 12. Another treble-less visit for Tomoya Goto. That means he's on 204, and it looks very likely that we may be going to a deciding leg in this set as well. Mansell on 161 has got a big 20, followed by a treble, so 81 left. He's got options here. Went for the 25, which I can get behind. If he'd found it, I would have left 56. But because he got a small 2, he's on 79 now, and things are a bit more precarious.
Another treble-less visit. 30 treble-less visits in this match for Tomoya Goto. Mansell's had 19 of his own. Now 79 to bring us back to 2-2. He wants 20 for tops. 20 is hit. He drops the final dart, but it's not classed as a legitimate throw. There are rules in place on that if you drop a dart. Tops for Mansell, and it's over the top. And Goto does have a finish to go at here of 144.
He does for the set. He's already had a shot at the bull to win this set by 3-0. He didn't take it. First dart. Went for the 18s, only gets the single, so the shot is off. Mansell will get 3 darts at 40 to take us all the way. Only 57 from Goto to leave 87. But Mansell, who has a very, very narrow stance against the hockey right now, looks more like a flamingo. Misses tops underneath by 1.5 centimetres. His double 10 is not there, he's at double 15. So, Hugh Ware, the Welsh referee, says no score, and Goto's got another chance to win set 3.
Taking him 18 darts to get down to 87. Treble 17 for double 18 would give him the set. Single 17 hit, 70 left. 20 leaves the bullseye again to try and win the set. And he's missed it once more, just to the right of centre.
He's getting closer, Mickey. Stop letting him have shots at the bull in set number 3. 40 points for Mansell. He's back to where he started, and he's missed it by a mile. 1.5 inches underneath. The double 10 this time is missed to the right. Last dart in hand. And it's there, making everybody wait for leg 4 to be completed. Either this game will continue after this leg and go into another set, but Mickey Mansell wants it to be finished.
Well, Tomoya Goto has the darts in this deciding leg, so he's got the advantage of theoretically getting down to a finish before his opponent. Starts with a ton. Got to stay ahead of his man. It's now or never for Tomoya Goto.
When Goto was here last year, he had somewhat blonde hair. This year, he's got black hair. If this game continues at this pace, he's going to have grey hair.
Well, poor start from Mansell, 4-5-6. So Goto does have the initiative here. Almost drops his 3rd dart as he transfers it from left hand to right. 85 scored, so he's got a healthy advantage here.
Yeah, it's not bad, actually, scoring a ton and an 85. He's got a 140-point lead. And Mansell right now does not look very dependable. He is starting to come apart a little bit here. If I were in Tomoya's shoes, I'd be thinking, if I can just get this leg, I think I can win this match.
Another treble-less visit, though, for the Japanese. Mansell does indeed stand both feet planted firmly on the floor next to each other. There's no tippy toes of a trailing leg or leaning into the hockey. Flat-footed stance from the Northern Irishman.
That's really hard to do as well when you've got the feet so close together. There's only one other player in the tournament who has a stance like him, and that's Dimitri van den Bergen. He's right-handed as opposed to Mansell being lefty. But that narrow stance, it puts so much stress on the lower body to stay still. That's why you have most dart players with a wider stance for a larger sort of base to make sure that you're steady. 1-2-2 Goto, it will be for the set. Mansell on 2-7-5 has got to get to a finish, and he's not going to.
No. 2 single 20s, make that 3.
Tomoya require 132.
So, to take us into a fourth set, rather. Tomoya Goto wants 122. Treble 18 is hit. Another one would leave him double 7. Single 18 would leave the bull. He went 20 because he knows that
90.
that Mansell's way back, not on a finish, so he lays himself up for double 16.
Yeah, good board management there from Goto. Mansell might have to draw a line under this set and say to himself, I have no idea why I've played so poorly after taking that 2-set lead.
67 average for Mansell in this set. Goto isn't way better, 75, but he's got set darts here. Double 16, wires it on the outside, crowd getting behind the Japanese player. And he's got it, and he's got a set on the board. What does that do for the confidence of Tomoya Goto? And indeed, the thoughts of Mickey Mansell, who probably thought at 2 sets to nil up that he had this one in the bag. 2-1 instead.
It's not in the bag, Mickey. In fact, you don't even have a bag. And the thing is, he hasn't got a break here to gather his thoughts.
81.
Things roll on now all the way to the end. So that's why I feel that Goto, looking at that 3rd set, if I can just get that leg, I think if I can get something moving, Mansell is by no means safe in this match. If he does not improve his output, he will lose this game.
Well, Mansell has the darts in set 4. Trying to come down from 420. Trebleless visit for him. 125 scored by Goto in his first visit, just to give him a little bit of a encouragement. Picking up treble 19, 6 of those. It's a good start to this set for the Japanese player.
Just looking out at the fans section where the friends and family are, the front row, there's about 6 or 7 people here with Mickey Mansell, and not one of these people are smiling.
60.
He's ahead in the match, 2-1, and they all look very, very worried. The Japanese fans, they're looking a bit more positive now, because Goto is the better player.
28.
As he hits a 28, but he still has a healthy lead
Of
after 9 darts apiece.
105 ahead still, even though he's playing poorly.
And it's Mansell's throw, and Mansell again is throwing into the small 20, the section of 20 below the treble, which is always indicative that the tricep muscle in the forearm is tightening, and that means the release of the dart isn't as it should be. Oh, nice treble 18 pick-off now from Goto. Danton finish of 80.
We've seen a lot of different behaviour on 80 checkouts over the last few legs. Mansell predominantly either missing tops into double 5 or missing singles. How does Tomoya handle an 80 checkout? He's got plenty of time with Mansell on 2-1-5. Straight down the guts, into the single 20, twice, right in the middle. Perfectly done. So it's tops with his last dart in hand.
40.
That's what we call the professional miss, because he's gone a little bit high. Just in case his arm tightens up, he'll hit it. But you'd rather be coming back for 40 than 20.
Just had to move along the oki a little bit to get that angle for that the game dart on tops. But still no finish for Mansell. 173. His average is dropping all the time. It's now 54 at the early part of this set. Goto for tops to break the throw, gets it, takes the lead in set 4. And as Alan Partridge once said, calling all pigeons, there's a cat amongst you. And that cat's name is Tomoya Goto.
Did he really say that?
Yeah.
I'll tell you one thing, the average of Mansell is dropping faster than a Lapland thermometer.
He's got work to do here, Mickey Mansell, and his throw is becoming increasingly erratic.
85.
Rescues that visit with a treble 20 after a wayward 5. 85 scored. Still not betraying too many emotions, Mansell. and nor is Goto. He's just going about his business. Nothing to lose, really. Steady time.
The steady player now is Goto. He's almost doing to Mansell what Mansell was doing to him earlier. The roles have reversed, and Mansell keeps dropping darts. On the oki, he's allowed to retrieve them because he's not transitioning from his right hand to the left smoothly. That's a sign of tension and nerves. That'll help. That's a nice 140, but boy, have they dried up in the last set and a bit.
He's got 10 140s, Mickey Mansell, compared to Goto's 2. And there's the third 140, as soon as I say it, from Goto, to get down to a finish of 161.
I just want to put this game into some sort of perspective, because at the end of set number 3, the game time on the oki was 44 minutes. When Callan Ridge was beating Romeo Gerbovat yesterday, he completed 3 sets in 15. This is a very different discipline, this game right here. Goto's got 161 and a small 20 to start. But that big 3 is missed by a good 2 inches, going for the treble 19. Very erratic indeed. That's a lovely pickup with the last one. Treble 18 leaves him on 84. Mansell 136.
It's a break throw at the start of this 4th set. It won't go. Single 20 leaves 116. And another one, you can hear it crack the wire as it lands in single 5. So, his finishing still pretty good. He's hit 7 out of 16 attempts at double. Tomoya Goto, he wants 84 here. Treble 20 for double 12. Players do this a lot when they're going for 101 and they hit 17 rather than treble. It's not happening here. 64 left. Bullseye. He's been getting closer and closer. Now he's further away as it lands in single 4.
Mansell has not won a leg in a while. He could do with this 91 checkout. He's going to start on the bullseye, and he's missed it. He's got a single 10, so that's 81 with 2. Now he's got no option but to go for the inner ring. The option is treble 19 for double 12. He does get the treble 19, double 12 to stop the rot. Where's that come from? He's barely thrown any decent darts in legs, but he has found a recovery 91 checkout out of absolutely nowhere. And it's 1-1 in the 4th.
Crucially, he's broken back. So he has the darts, Mansell, at the start of leg 3. 1 apiece. Mansell leads 2 sets to 1, only needs 1 more set to go through.
Why do I get the feeling, Dance, that Mansell's trying too hard? He looks very tense now. He's trying to get over the line. Chris Mason talks about you got to play but not try. You do all of your practice in the weeks leading up to this, and you do a little bit of practice leading up to the match. When you're on that oki, play. Just play. That's what it's about.
Mansell from Dungannon in Northern Ireland, up against the likes of Josh Rock, Darryl Gurney, Brendan Dolan for supremacy.
Nathan Rafferty's on tour as well. He's pretty handy.
Yep. Goto, the best Japanese darts player of those out there?
At the minute, I would have to say a cautious yes, because there are plenty of... Tatsunami's pretty good. Mitsuhiko Tatsunami, he's got a great name and a fabulous reputation. But I think it's an untapped resource. I think we need to get more PDC darts into Japan so that players like Goto can thrive a bit more and be maybe more ready for things like this.
That's one of the reasons Russ Bray, the former referee, is spending a lot of time over in the Asian territories, spreading the word about the game of darts.
Well, the ladies over in Japan, they really are thriving at the minute. Asia Pacific Cup champion Yukie Sakaguchi, 2-time Women's World Champion Mikuru Suzuki, Natsumi Iwata. There are so many.
60.
But it's a long way away, and it's very expensive to do the circuit. And they've got their own pro tour in Japan. They tend to stay domestic.
Goto from 2-1-7, trying to get down to a finish. 2 trebles, comes downstairs and picks off a treble 19. Now where's that come from? To leave himself on tops
Mansell on 140 points for 2-1. He's not going to take it. That small 20 is a centimetre short of his requisite target, as is the second dart. Needs a ton to lead tops. It's another trebleless visit, and they're starting to mount up for Mansell. 80 is left for Mickey again. Goto is on tops to take us to 2-1 up in the fourth set. Mansell 2 sets to 1 ahead. Goto at tops is high, but that is a fabulous guide. That one's even better. That's in between dart 1 and the bed of tops. Dart 3 expectant, and it's way too low. It was never in.
It's that moment when they hesitate and take half a step back and then reset. I think if he just stayed with his stance and thrown that third dart, he might have done it. Meanwhile, Mansell wants tops now, but he's only got 1 dart in hand with which to hit it. But hit it, he has, and he goes 2-1 up in legs like he's 2-1 up in sets. He's 1 away from round 2.
If Mickey Mansell was a dish, he'd be a slow-cooked stew, because that's how he plays the game. He's methodical. Eventually, he can be very delicious, but it's a process.
Well, Goto has the darts in leg 4. He started with a very nice 140. Mansell, if he can break here, gets the job done. But he probably wasn't expecting a fourth set. I think when they went off for their comfort break at 2-zip, I think he was expecting to clean this one up inside 35 minutes. Here we are now at 52 minutes played, approaching 8:30 on this Friday night. And the 3,000 fans inside Ali Pali are getting their VFM already, because it's going to be a late one.
Yep, it's going to be a very warm one tonight as well. Just imagine, though, if they were playing this outside and Mickey Mansell was a bit like that very famous Northern Irish kid who was wearing his school shoes on the way to school when it was a bit snowy. He said you wouldn't be long getting frostbite. Well, that's what it'd be like if we're playing this outside. It's a long game, but that's a wonderful 140 from Goto to leave 81 after 9. All of a sudden, leg 4 is giving us quality, and Mansell is back in here at 221 in the 60. Needs another treble to get to 96, and doesn't get there.
So Goto with the advantage. Treble 19 for double 12 is the outshot. Needs this to bring us back to 2-2. He's gone treble 10. I think he was going for treble 15, so he's left himself 51. 19 for double 16. Again, he steps back from the oki to reset with 1 dart in hand at 32. And he's outside double 16. Will he be back? Mansell wants 136 for the match.
Well, he's got 2 options here. He could go 2 treble 16s for tops on 136, but he's got the 60 to start. Still got options. Dart 2 isn't another treble 20. So all he can do is, he's gone for the single 16 and he's missed it. That's careless.
Single 7 next door. So can Goto hit the 16s? 2 of them. Settling himself now. Crowd once again joining in. Oh, only needed 1 dart. A little yelp of happiness from Tomoya Goto. 2-2 in legs, and now Goto is throwing for the chance, unbelievably, to take us into a deciding set with 54 minutes on the watch.
I'll tell you who's not going to be enjoying this game. That's Michael van Gerwen, because he'll be watching the monitors down in the practice room saying, what time am I going to be on tonight? I think his scheduled time was about 10 o'clock. It's going to be much later than that. This one is going to break potentially 60 minutes of game time.
Just to update you on the current football scores tonight in the Championship. Luton and Derby 0-0 after half an hour at Kenilworth Road in the Championship. In League One, Cambridge 0, Huddersfield 3. Huddersfield 3 up at the Abbey inside the first half. Kazumi, Spencer and Marshall with those goals. Stockport and Peterborough are 1 apiece, heading to half-time at Edgeley Park. And the leaders Wickham being held by Bolton Wanderers, that's 0-0. Crewe Colchester is 0-0 in League 2. Gillingham 1, Cheltenham 1, and Motherwell 1-0 up on Kilmarnock. You're up to date. on talkSPORT 2, where we have EFL action tomorrow lunchtime. Portsmouth against Coventry is our lunchtime kickoff from the Championship. Faye Carruthers will be your host from midday here on talkSPORT 2. But what of this deciding leg here in set 4?
Mansell still plugging away at that treble 20 on 3:42. A trebleless visit, his 29th. He's trying to catch Goto in that statistic, and that's one that you don't want to catch him on. Goto's got the darts now, and he's got a treble 20 from 288. He's the favourite to take this game to 5 sets.
This is a grind. And I'm going to use that word. Mickey Mansell's getting embroiled here. We love a bit of embroiling.
My favourite word for a game like this is attritional.
Oh yeah, attritional's a good one. And Mansell again, a trebleless visit, up to 30 of those, just 2 behind his opponent. He had half as many earlier in the match. Goto creeping down towards a finish.
60.
With a 60 scored, he'll be back for 1-4-7.
Mansell has 2 sets, he has 2 legs, he has 222 points on talkSPORT 2. He's got 2 treble 20s. And he went for the treble 18 as well. He rejected the idea of getting a maximum. It was the right thing to do, but Mansell has left 84 for the match if Goto does not find this 1-4-7 checkout. If this goes in, this will be outrageous.
It won't with a single 20. So what can Goto do from here to pressurise the Mansell throw on 84?
57.
Only 57 scored, so 90 left for Goto. Mansell, will he go treble 20 for double 12, or will he try and fashion a way to get to double top? No, he's gone for the treble 20. 64 left, 14 for Bull. He's hit treble 9 next door, and in the green bed he's hit 27.
Why are you being greedy on a match opportunity like that? Makes no sense at all. That kind of thing really gets my Goto.
20 left for Mansell. Will he be back to try it for the match? Because Tomoya Goto wants 90. And the punters get behind the Japanese player once more. Just shuts his eyes. Looks for a bit of inspiration from within. Settles on the Yoki. Looking for treble 20 for double 15. 70 left, another 20 will leave the bullseye. One dart of the Bull, he's not hit it all night. What a time it would be to pick it up now, to take us to a deciding sets. Way off, hit 12 instead. And now Mansell's back in for the match for 2-10s, Nico.
Mansell has had his problems on double 10 in this match. He only needs 1 more shot to win. And win he does! In the bottom left corner, it almost hit double 15. And we're just shy of 59 minutes of game time. That was a typical Mickey Mansell World Championship win. Hard work. He took the first 2 sets, then he was embroiled, but gets over the line. And Johnny Clayton is waiting in the next round. Johnny, you better bring your good game and be patient, because Mickey Mansell is your next opponent.
So the Northern Irishman goes through, knocking out Tomoya Goto. 3 sets to 1 in the end, with an average of just over 81 for Mansell. Next up on talkSPORT 2, an intriguing contest. Florian Hempel of Germany taking on Jeffrey De Zwaan of the Netherlands. Mark Wilson and Chris Mason, the Ace Mason, will guide you through the action here on your home of darts on the radio. talkSPORT 2.